Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Blaze podcast on Blaze TV. Ed Kimberley flying solo with you today, and our guest is Finnish forward Janne Kivilahti. Janne, thank you so much for joining us. It's finally good to meet you. It's been a little while. I kind of feel bad that I've not got to say hey yet, so it's nice to see you.
Yeah, same here. It's nice to see you too, and nice to be here.
Listen, we're going to talk a lot about hockey on this thing, as is kind of part and parcel. But first things first, I got to get out of the way with, I follow you on Insta. I see you play golf. How's your golf game, man?
It's going pretty well, actually. I took my own clubs with me here because, of course, you have to take them. You play if you get to play in UK some golf, so it's going pretty well, I must say. I think I scored 80, 82 on the Sloan League course a few
Nice.
back, so it's pretty good, pretty good.
Nice. I was talking to the other Yanni, Golf Day, and he said that, he played a lot of golf over the summer. I follow him on Insta too. And he was bigging up his game, and then I noticed that his first tee shot went hella right. So I don't know how he did the rest of the day, but I found that kind of funny.
Yeah, it happens to me also.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, man. The summers can be as long as they are, and it always seems to go a little wonky. But listen, I don't know if you know this, and I think I'm right in saying, but I think you're only the third Finnish player to play for the Blaze, not including Mika Wikman, the goalie, because I think he was half Swedish, half Finnish. So we have Moisio a couple of years back, Larkinen, and now yourself. So we haven't really had a much chance to chat to a guy that played junior in Finland, that played pro in Finland. So I'm gonna pick your brains a lot doing this, man. So tell us a little bit about your junior time, because you played with Jokerit, Blues, Karpat as well. Is it normal to kind of switch between teams a little, or how does that work?
Well, I don't know if it's normal, but it happened to me. I was fortunate to play in those big organizations. Those Jokerit and Karpat are like two of the biggest organizations back home. And I'm from Espoo. I started my hockey in Blues. Then Jokerit just, I don't know, called to me and would you want to come here to our organization, and I saw that as a good opportunity to evolve and develop as a player. And after a few years in Jokerit, I got a second call from Karpat to go to the northern Finland to this other big organization. I took that chance, and I think it's done good for me. And I think it's just good to see other organizations, how they do things, and learn something about it. And that's my junior years back home.
No, for sure. And Jokerit, of course, they've had a really interesting time as a franchise, because they play in the KHL. Do they play still there now, or did they just do it for a little bit?
Yes, they are there now, and I don't know how I feel about it, but it's our biggest team in Finland, and obviously it's nice for them to play those KHL games. But at the same time, I feel they didn't do good for the Finnish Liga, top Liga, because one of the biggest teams went away to the other league. So I don't know. It's been good for them, and I had a chance a few years ago, 5 years ago, before I went to Sweden to have a contract with Jokerit. It was a two-way contract. Jokerit paid my salary, but I played in the farm team, so I got to see a little bit their professional training and how they do things and stuff like that. So it was good for them, and it was nice to be with them for 1 year.
I'm going to want to talk to you about that, I guess, a little bit later on, because I didn't know how it worked in terms of having teams in Liga and then Mestis, whether you had I don't know, the Swedish league, and they sometimes have guys in the Allsvenskan, and then like obviously in the NHL you send guys down to the American League, etc. So that's really interesting. But look, I can't not talk about your junior career and talk about your time in the national team in the under 16s, because at any level, if you can represent your country, it's pretty awesome, right? So how was that for you, man?
Well, I was young. It's a long time ago when I was there, but I was like this, how do you say, young star, and I was bit faster than everybody else, and unfortunately, I got a pretty big injury when I was turning 18. So that ended my being at the national team, but things happen. It's hockey. Sometimes things break, but I remember those days in wearing the Finnish national jersey and playing for the Finland. It's very big thing for us in Finland, and everybody dreams of it. And I really enjoyed it, and I looked at those days that they were great for me.
I mean, it's an elite hockey country, as we all know. You know, you're always challenging up there with the big, you know, the other big countries on the national scale. But you know, personally, to play with guys like Granlund, who's at the Preds now, Donskoy plays with the Kraken, right? Too. I think he was in that age group. That must have been a hell of an experience.
Yeah, it was actually. Everybody knew them already under 16. They were like the top 3 guys or top 2 guys in our age, and you just try to watch them what they do. It wasn't a big difference actually, but some things they just did better, and they had the talent from the young age. So it was nice to see them or play in the same line or playing in the same team with them, and obviously it's very nice to see them how they doing right now. So that was nice.
So yeah. Turning pro, then going to into Mestis. That's the second tier. And if I'm butchering the pronunciations, I'm so sorry, buddy. Actually, Kino was just as a sidebar. Kino speaks Swedish, so he was like, "Hey man, if you ever need to know any pronunciations of teams, players in Sweden, just give me a shout beforehand." I didn't ask him how his Suomi was. I don't know if he has any, but I probably should have done. But playing in Mestis, so you played for a few teams there too. So you played in Hermes, Vanta, and then probably most importantly, your hometown in Espoo also. That must have been so cool.
Yeah, I was after my junior years, I went to the or what do you call Mestis is like half professional league. So for some guys it's full professional. For some guys it's half professional. But for me it was always professional, and I wanted to see the other organizations. As I said, I first went to the Hermes, and I learned a lot. I had a big role there, and I scored pretty many goals there and a lot of points there. So that was a good trip for me. And after that, I went to Vanta, different kind of organization. That was the time when I had the KHL contract or two-way contract with Jokerit. So I thought that's a good deal for me if I get even a chance to practice with the KHL team. So I learned a lot there also. And obviously when my home city went to the Mestis, and I had an opportunity to go there, and it was just great. So but unfortunately the team went bankrupt, so after 2 years, so I had to find something else again. But things happen, it's business. But nice years in Mestis.
How did that work then, playing for Vanta and the two-way deal? How did that come around? Because it's not like, you know, in the NHL, you get drafted, you have your rights with the team, your rights might get traded and whatever. But how does it work? How did it work for you?
Yeah, it's not that like on that scale. It's just there's like few players who have that two-way contract, and I don't know if they still do it, but they did it when I was there. And I get my gear from there, my salary paid from Jokerit, and if there's a national break or something, I get to practice with them on ice and stuff like that. Small things which are like important for the motivation, and like you can see that the differences are not that big, and you can make it to the games if some injuries come or something. So it was just good deal for me, and I took it.
So then when Espoo went bankrupt, you went for a bit of a change and moved across the border there to the Allsvenskan. And as far as I understand it, it's a very different league to Mestis, considering it's like the second tier in Finland compared to the second tier in Sweden. It's a lot tighter of a game. Is that a fair thing to say?
Well, honestly, I could say that Allsvenskan is much better league than Mestis, and I don't know even know if everybody understand it, but Allsvenskan is very very good league and good crowds there, and very competitive league. And actually, I didn't go straight to the Allsvenskan. I went to the Hockeyettan, which is the third highest league in the Sweden, and And then this Allsvenskan team bought me during the season, and I played for Allsvenskan team Oskarshamn the rest of the season, and actually we went the whole way. So that was good decision for me from me to leave the country to go to see some other things. Sweden was perfect for me on that point. So yeah, that's how it went.
And the run with Oskarshamn. So this is the thing, right? In soccer, because you were just talking about the Finland-France game right now in the Euros, which we're keeping you from. So we appreciate this. So like in soccer, you have a promotion and a relegation, right? But not a lot of hockey leagues have that. So to be on that run between the Allsvenskan going up to the SHL, that's a huge deal, and that must have been insane to be part of.
Yeah, that was one of the best moments of my hockey career, I must say. Like, we don't have that opportunity in back home in Finland, and like I said, I started the season in the third league of Sweden. Then I got bought during the season to the second league to Allsvenskan, and like winning the Allsvenskan was was nothing compared to the promotion which we got in the end of the season to the first or top league, to the SHL, and seeing the market full of people, and the town went crazy for a week. So that was very, very nice experience, and I never forget it.
And the promotion games, the kind of the playoff games, if you like, I've seen some of those on TV. Oh my goodness, they're intense.
Yeah, it was nice to see. I've never played those games before, and full crowds and cameras everywhere, and like everybody's following you, and charter flights, nobody else on the flights, and it was awesome.
And importantly, I mean, I'm skipping a year in here, but you managed to get some hockey in through Corona as well. An unprecedented year. You know, we've seen NHL lockouts and stuff, but nothing like this. How was the last kind of 18 months for you as a player and as a person, I guess?
Well, it's been like long summers. I took my time before I decided where I want to go, and obviously I had a chance to stay in Sweden, so I took it. I just wanted to play somewhere. I didn't want to be on that position that I haven't played anywhere for a year. So I decided to go back to the Swedish third league, and I got a good deal there. And it was like similar story with that team, that they wanted to get promoted to Allsvenskan, and I got excited of that like project, and I tried to help the team, but just we didn't go the whole way. But it was good that I got some games during these tough years, and yeah, it was different year than I've ever had.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because like we see I mean, I've been around the Elite League a long time, man, believe it or not. And you see trends of like where players get recruited from. So the last big one was U Sports, so the college league in Canada. So we started to see a couple of guys come out of what was the CIS, then it got rebranded to U Sports. Now we're seeing a lot of guys come out of there. Hockey Etan, the Swedish third tier, we're starting to see a lot more guys come over here from there as well. It's a really good standard of hockey, isn't it? I think maybe sometimes that kind of gets taken for granted.
Yeah, I think so too. There's like there's a lot of teams in the Hockey Ettan, but like the top 10 teams are actually very good, and they could easily play in Allsvenskan. And that's the thing in Sweden, what I like, that you can get promoted and you can get relegated down, and like teams change inside the league, and like there next year there could be some Allsvenskan team playing in the Hockey Ettan, and that's the thing that's the thing that keeps the Hockey Ettan good, or like level is good there also. So
I love that. Like, I love that. I mean, if you've got like the structure to do that, and clearly they do in Sweden. I don't know whether they still do it in Germany. I'd have to fact check that, but they used to do that with the DEL too. But I don't know whether they do that anymore, because I think some of the teams that were getting promoted just frankly couldn't afford it. Like, they just couldn't afford to be competitive when they jumped up. So that in Sweden they can do that is, like I said, compared to soccer, it's very, very exciting. Yeah. And keeps both leagues. And, you know, and then you've got the filter up, like we said, the Allsvenskan to the SHL, keeps it really, really competitive. So then you took another change, and probably I guess the biggest change in your career, and coming over the pond to Coventry and the Elite League, and what prompted that move? Because presumably you could have stuck around in Scandinavia and played over there. Was it just a change of scenery, a different challenge? What was the motivation?
Well, like you can see from my history, I've wanted to experience different things and different organizations, and I heard a lot of good about this league. That it's been better for every year, and like better players come here, and like the level is better each year. So I just heard good things about this. One thing was I wanted to play with. To the Canadian coach. That was one thing I've never done. Yeah, as I said, and I saw that there's some good Finnish players also, like Laakkonen is very legendary player back home. So I just gave him a call and like asked honestly, should I come? And he was like, yeah, why not? And I see that there's some Finnish players in the other teams also, and they're not bad players. So I just thought that why not? I saw Sweden also, what Sweden has to offer to me. I think the first year I got it all I can get. So something new now, and so far I've liked it.
It was on my list of things to ask you about, because obviously, like I said, we've had 3 Finnish guys play for us. You're the third. Janne Laakkonen has become a bit of a cult hero, and I was going to ask, did you know of him beforehand? So. How did you know Janne? How does that relationship work before you came here?
Well, actually, I didn't know him. He's a bit older than me, but I'm not sure if he's happy that I said it now here. But he knows it. He's older than me, but I know him. Obviously, I've seen him play in the Finnish league, in the top league when I was younger, and I just saw that he's here. So, and I've heard we have like mutual friends, so I asked his number and just as a Finnish way gave him a call, didn't hesitate, and he was happy to answer my questions, and like I started from that, and now I'm here. So
yeah, we love Laakkonen, and it's crazy because he's like been the older guy in the dressing room. I think last year when he was here, there was him and I want to say one other guy that was 30 or over. So he was, by a few years, the oldest guy. And again, this year, the team's kind of young, and he's so young at heart, isn't he? He just fits in. Like, you wouldn't think this is a 39-year-old with a bunch of late 20 guys, would you?
No, not even close. He's a young soul, and actually he's in very good shape also. Like, I just wish if I could play on his age and be that good. So just hats off to him.
I'm sure he'll love that, and you've made up for maybe slightly calling him old, but that's cool. Yeah. So have I. Yeah. I'm sure he's probably used to it by now.
Maybe.
But in terms of like the style of hockey, so I mean, you guys, you have that creativity, don't you? And it's a very different style of hockey in the Elite League than I guess what you would have played in previously. So, in what ways would you say it's different?
What's different with Elite League and Sweden and Finland? Or?
Yeah, traditionally, I guess people say the Elite League's got that more North American style. But I guess if you had to like describe the differences, what would you say they were?
I must say it's like you said, North American. It's pretty fast, like a lot of turnovers. Obviously, it's tough. Also, if somebody hits like the wrong way, you get like you have to answer it, and I don't know, hard to say. Like maybe it's the fast turnovers and faster hockey, and different kind of hockey. There's like different sizes of the rinks here, and ice is bigger in some place and ice is smaller in some place, so you have to adapt and things like that. Maybe.
I mean, do you enjoy that experience? Because you're an offensive guy, right? You've been brought over to score points and be creative. So I guess in some ways that's an interesting challenge.
Yeah, it is. I like it. It's just obviously it takes time for me. I haven't been on ice that much during the summer, but I feel better every day, and like during the games also that I can produce more. And yeah, I like it. I like the fast style of game.
And to be fair, I mean, you've kind of alluded to it there. Since you've come in, the team have been on they've had some adversity thrown at us. You know, we've had some injuries, quite a lot of suspensions, but somehow we're coming out of the other side with points. You know, particularly in the league, we're doing very well in the league, and we've been able to get through to the next round of the cup, which has been a bit of a challenge for us. You know, since I can remember, to be honest, that competition has not been nice to us.
Yep.
So you must be really proud of, you know, how this group have been able to come together and overcome that.
Yeah, well, the guys are great on the team. Like I can see the mental strength on the team, and that showed a lot when we had I don't know if we had 10 or 11 players against Cardiff, and was it Dundee the other game. So that's like mental strength is very strong with the guys, and like good group of guys. We have a lot of fun in the locker room, and obviously Stewie as a head coach gives his experience to the table, and like just the sum of everything is, I like it so far, and the cup thing is very good that we managed to do it now, and yeah, we just keep getting better and better and better every day.
What's the culture been like for you as well? Because obviously playing predominantly in Scandinavia, it's a little bit different in the Elite League, isn't it?
A bit different, yeah, but I've been in many places, and that's my like that's I know I can adapt to any situation, so I haven't thought about it. Hockey is still hockey, and guys are still guys, so it's easy to adapt.
No, for sure. Janne, this has been really fun. It's been really good to meet you, and I'm really glad we've got to chat. Hey, the next thing we probably got to do, maybe when the weather gets a little better, is get a golf game under our belt. I keep saying this to the guys. I mean it. Golf day. I'm kind of bummed you missed that. But you know, it was a lot of fun. I mean, me and Ethan played as a team, and we beat the coaches. So that was a little nice thing. Yeah. So I don't think Danny's not quite let me get over that. So I think he's probably going to want to rematch at some point. But Janne, thank you so much for this. We're looking forward to seeing you back on the ice doing what you do. So appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And guys, sorry that we haven't been able to do as many of these the last couple of weeks. Stu was up at COP26. He was off doing the environmental thing. I've just been apparently growing a mustache. And other stuff. But you know, in the next week or so, we'll get a couple more of these done. And you'll hear from some more of this year's Country Blaze. So until next time, or unless I see you around the ring, stay safe, take it easy.